This story is for Lillian and Rosaleigh and anybody else that wants to listen. And I'm told I'm supposed to say, like and share for more. This story is called The Spirit in the Bottle. Once there lived a poor woodcutter. He worked hard from morning until night to save money to send his son to school. The boy worked hard too and became very clever, but the money ran out before he could finish his studies. He had to return home to the woodcutter's hut in the forest. "I am sorry, son," his father said. "I have no more money to give you. I hardly have enough for us to buy food." "Don't worry, father," his son said brightly. "I can work hard. I don't mind chopping wood with you." "But son, you're not used to such hard work," his father said sadly. "And besides, I have only one axe." "Then I'll see if your neighbor will lend you one until I can make enough money to buy my own." So the woodcutter did, and the next morning the father and son went into the forest together. The lad got on and chopping wood quite merrily, and when the sun was high in the sky, his father said, "Now we will rest and have our lunch." But his son said, "You rest, father. I'm going to search for nuts and berries for our dinner." And off he went through the trees. During his search, the lad came to an enormous oak tree. Then it seemed as if they heard a voice. It was very faint. Someone was crying, "Let me out! Let me out!" I personally wouldn't let them out. But the lad looked around and he couldn't see anything. There it was again. "Let me out! Let me out!" It seemed like the voice was coming out of the ground. The boy searched around the tree roots, and there, half buried among the leaves and moss, he found an old glass bottle. The lad brushed off the soil and held the bottle up to the light. There was a creature springing and spinning inside. "Let me out! Let me out!" It cried again, louder now and more desperate. But the boy hurried to draw the cork. So the boy hurried to draw the cork from the bottle. Now that was a tongue twister. The creature slid through the neck of the bottle and began to swell. It grew and grew and grew until it became a mighty spirit. It towered over the lad and bellowed, "I was put into this bottle as a punishment. At first I thought I would reward anyone who released me. But hundreds of years have passed, and I waited. I grew angrier and angrier. I swore I would kill the next person I met, and that is you, so now you must die." The boy was very afraid, but he was very clever, and he thought fast. "Actually," he said, "I can't see how you've impossibly been shut up in that bottle. You'd never fit inside. It must have been some sort of a trick." "What are you talking about?" roared the spirit. "Of course I was in there." "Prove it then," said the lad. The spirit snorted with annoyance and at once drew itself up and shrank and shrank and shrank until it became so tiny that it could slide back through the neck of the bottle and was once more jumping around inside again. Quick as thought, the lad grabbed the cork, shoved it into the bottle, and the spirit was trapped once more. He shoved it back among the roots of the tree and went to walk away when the spirit cried out, "Set me free again, and I promise you will never want for anything for the rest of your whole life." So the boy took the cork out again, and the spirit rose up from the bottle, growing in size until it towered over him once more. Luckily, the spirit kept his word. "Here is your reward," it boomed, and it gave the lad a little bag with a sticking plaster in it. "This is a magic plaster." Plaster is like mud, maybe? The spirit explained, "Put one end over a wound and it will heal. Put the other end over steel or iron and it will instantly change to silver." Then in a great puff of smoke the spirit vanished and the boy hurried back to his father. "Where have you been?" the woodcutter asked. "We should started work again ages ago." "Don't worry, father," soothed the boy. "I will soon make it up to you." He bent over his axe so his father could not see what he was doing, and rubbed the iron blade with the magic plaster. It turned into gleaming silver. "Look at my axe, father," the boy said, holding it up. To his surprise, his father looked horrified instead of delighted. Oh my goodness, whatever happened? The woodcutter gasped. That's no good for chopping trees anymore. Silver is softer than iron. It will just bend. I can't give the axe back to my neighbor like that. You'll have to go and sell it. You won't get much for a damaged axe, though. I'll have to earn, however, how much else is needed to buy my neighbor a new axe. Oh, father, son sighed with a smile. He strode off into town and went straight to the jeweler. The jeweler gave him £5,000 for it. The woodcutter's son came home, delighted, and asked his father how much the neighbor wanted for the axe. £10. The woodcutter said, shaking his head sadly. Well, here's £10, said the lad, counting out his money, and here's many hundreds more. Good heavens, cried his father. Where on earth did you get all that money? Then the lad told him everything. The old woodcutter was thrilled, not only because he had never had to worry about money again, but because his son could go back to school and finish his studies. So he did, and because he could heal all the wounds with his magic plaster, he became the most famous doctor in the whole world.